Chris Lovell here with another edition of Patriot Talk. Colton Coons behind the camera, taking care of us as always. And my man, Joe Sexton, to my left. Experience from last week, man. There's a lot of weather. It was on the road. Logistically, everybody's kind of, is there going to be enough stands? It turned out to be an unbelievably beautiful night. Crowd was great. Everybody was well behaved, mostly. I had to, Colton was kind of, running the camera for the stream. He was a bit ornery after one bad call. So I had to kind of calm him down from afar. He's behind the camera. You can't see him. And I didn't disagree with the sentiment after a bad call early on in the game on the road. But, Coach, so how was it?
It's awesome.
Yeah, and I think it probably was.
It was. It was a great experience. We came up a little short, but it was everything that we thought that it would be. There was so many things like you were talking about. I mean, we got 2 hours before game time, it's dumping, and we're thinking, all right, do we have towels? Do we have everything?
And like real rain.
Really big drops of rain. Yeah. And, I got stuck out in the parking lot. I went to pick the bus up, and I'm sitting in the parking lot, and I'm thinking, okay, just like every other rainstorm we've had in the last 2 months, it'll last about 2 minutes. It's gone. I sat out in that parking lot for 30 minutes because, there was a river running through our parking lot. So I thought, well, I'll just sit here. And 30 minutes later, I'm still sitting there. So finally, I ran in, got soaked. But you're right, the weather cleared out, and it was awesome after that. And, their superintendent was telling me, you've got a little bit of a walk to the stadium. And I'm like, walks don't affect us. We walk 6 minutes every day to practice.
Most teams, they would be like, oh, dude, this is very inconvenient. However, your group,
didn't bother them a bit.
It's actually short. Just get more steps in. So you find yourself in a very competitive game against a really good quarterback, Caleb Cook. But take me through, there was the initial, because I think you guys put a touchdown on the board early, although it's taken off. And from then on, that's when...
Is that what Colton got ornery about?
Yeah, and I was kidding about Colton. He didn't really get frustrated. Maybe that was more...
There was one or two people on the field that got pretty ornery, too, about that.
And that's... Look, I didn't agree with the call. I thought it was a bad call and had nothing to do with the play. But that's life on the road, too.
Yep.
And you've got to figure out a way around it. And
got to play the next play.
To figure out what's next. But... Is that maybe kind of, could you feel your team kind of like, are you still to the point where you're trying to get them to understand and grow up? And
well, then right after that, we had another chance. Mm-hmm. So there was, we had two chances to score early, and we didn't do it. And I think this week, hopefully, we'll have just as many opportunities, and I think maybe we'll grow from those two things. Probably the best thing about that call, I didn't hear a whole lot of our kids complaining about it, because they've heard coaches say over and over and over, play the next play, let's go. And that's one thing that I probably preach to them too much about. Bad things are going to happen during the game, and because we've never played one yet where something bad hadn't happened, and there it was. It happened to us early, and they just move on. Let's play the next play.
Yeah,
that's all you can do.
That's life on the road, and you've got some more road games coming.
Yeah, we've got one or two more coming.
We'll get to. Yeah, there's an old saying. This typically ties into you could apply it to golf or tennis or individual sport, but it applies to football too. But it's E.A.R. E.A.R. Expect, assess, reset. You expect something bad to happen because it will. Sports are hard. No. You assess the situation and then hit the reset button, but. Younger people, it's sometimes hard. You let it dwell, or you let it affect you emotionally. Or
some people just let it fester, and it just
guilty as charged sometimes. I know you are too.
Oh yeah, it just continues on into the next play, and then the next play because you're still ticked about the play before. But I thought we bounced back from it well. At halftime, I heard. When I was going in, I heard a couple of parents saying, I bet they're going to get their butt chewed at halftime, and
that's
No, it's I kind of use Coach Katz's approach to that. His halftime was always so so calm because you're trying to fix a problem, and if you're loud and it's, you don't fix any problems like that.
You just make yourself feel better by letting out some.
Oh yeah, you got a little frustration, but we have to overcome that as coaches, and we have to, get our adjustments across to the kids. And if we're going off on the kids like that, a lot of times I know if you're sitting here screaming at me, I'm probably going to tune you out. I'm not going to listen to a word you say. So our halftime was very calm, I thought, and we made adjustments. And, really we didn't even have to make a whole lot of adjustments. We just needed to calm down and come out and
execute
and do what we're supposed to do.
Your thing. That's exactly right. But your kids kept fighting all the way to the end. I mean, I think you're down 21-7. And probably at that point, one more New Home score, and then you look at it and go, I don't know if we have enough possessions left in the game. Right. But they didn't allow that, and they kept fighting and gave yourself a chance.
The defense played awesome. They kept us in the game. And
yeah, so I wanted to highlight Jackson Thomas. I think they had 9 tackles. Jackson Payne had 7 tackles. 2 really good
Isaac
players.
Rodriguez.
And tell me about number 45. Tell me more about. I think people just generally don't know enough about him. This is a young man who's a sophomore, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to guess 6'2". I'm going to guess 225.
Yeah, he's about 215.
Okay, but he looks the part.
Yes.
He looks like what I typically see across town at one of my other various jobs when I'm around the Red Raiders. That's what but very impressive looking athlete, and he plays fast.
He doesn't even really know at this point how good he could possibly be.
Okay, and again, sophomore.
He's a sophomore in high school. He's got all the intangibles. I think he's got long arms. He's got big hands. He's got a frame that I think you could probably pack some weight on as we get down the road. And plus, he's a wrestler. I think his wrestling season last year really helped him a bunch. I could see his confidence level coming out of wrestling last year. In wrestling, it's me and you. And he's got...
I can tell you this. In wrestling, it'll never be me versus Isaac. I don't want any part of that. Yeah.
Well, you probably wouldn't be in his weight class.
Yeah, okay. Oh, wow. Shots fired. Okay.
But, he's learned leverage. He's learned
hand placement.
And to compete. It's so I think wrestling has really helped him a lot. And so he has kind of turned that into how to use that, during a football game. And gosh, he was great the other night. He's going to cause a lot of problems for a lot of people, I think.
He's what I would term twitchy.
Yes,
he has some quick twitch about him.
He can beat you inside. He can beat you off the edge, or he'll just go right over the top of you.
Yeah, the one sack he had was just like explosive play. Very, very impressive. Can't wait to watch him. Another defensive player that I wanted to highlight, he only shows up in the stat sheet with a couple of pass breakups, but Asen Huffman, pretty good little corner for you.
Asen Huffman had a great game, and those pass breakups were huge.
Great place.
He had, I think on his last one maybe, the guy got behind him, and Asen closed on him and broke the ball up. And because when I first looked, I thought, uh-oh, we're in trouble. But he's gonna do some really good things this year. So we're very excited to see him. And he's another one that, from last year to this year, you can just see his confidence starting to come out. Yes.
Also very twitchy. And
yes,
fast.
He is.
Yeah, change of direction, all that stuff. Your running backs. I mentioned Caleb Cook, the quarterback for New Home, really good player, senior. He came up to me after the game. I've known him and his family for a long time, and he said, "Man, those running backs run really hard." And I think he made the statement like, I think New Home might be in trouble next year. And I just said, I think you're probably right. But he was very impressed, and I think just generally New Home was with your group up front blocking and the way Talon and Colin ran the football.
Right. Talking to their coaches after the game, they were very complimentary of our offensive line and just the way those backs hit the hole. We're extremely fortunate to have 2 running backs like that, and we actually have more than that. We got 3 or 4 that can do the same, but those 2 are, once they see the hole, Talon we'll slide through the hole and be gone. The biggest thing that we've had to adjust from last year is, we had a lot of long runs last year. And
now you're having to grind it out a little bit.
Yeah, now we're having to go, we're having to turn a 75-yard run that we had last year into a 12-yard run. And that's good, as long as we keep those chains moving. So we just can't get frustrated that
we only gain 12.
Yeah, that we only gain 12 or we only gain 4. But
football is hard.
Anything, especially against some of the size that we're gonna see
and speed. Yeah,
and we're just that's what they took away from it, because when we talked on Monday, that's what they talked about is, I thought I was about to break away on a couple of those, and then here comes everybody closing in on them. So as long as we're staying positive yardage, we're pretty happy with that.
Other teams have players and coaches too.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
heck yeah, and they're going to find a way to try to stop what we do best.
Absolutely. The play that at the end of the game that puts you guys in a position to tie it or go for the win, the pass and catch from Colton Bouchard to Levi Walker. Take me through the play call, and I think that Colton made a great throw, and Levi obviously maneuvered his way through a lot of traffic there, and that was kind of had the place sideways.
We got some buzz back.
Yeah, absolutely, you did.
Yeah, it was kind of quiet on our sideline and our stands, and I think we had a dead ball or timeout or whatever, and Coach Newton's going through his play sheet.
Yeah,
great play call, and off we went. Levi. To me, if I was a receiver and I'm running that play, you have to have a lot of faith in those guys in front of you right there, because if somebody misses their block, you're about to get a mouthful of a helmet. And man, they did it. Everybody executed, and Levi broke probably 3 tackles on the way in, and you could kind of tell once he broke.
Yeah, he had momentum.
He was going to be really hard to catch.
Yeah. Yeah, and it just, came up short, 21-20. And so we've kind of broken that down. But, so back on the road this week at Idalou. I did want to tell everybody this game will not be streamed. Idalou's not streaming it. And so I think if you're going to get your tickets, you got to get them there, and you got to pay cash to get them.
At the gate.
At the gate. So show up maybe a little earlier than you normally would. It's, what do we guess Idalou about? 30 minutes out of town?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. It's going to take you longer to get around the loop than it is to get to Idalou.
Absolutely. But be a great environment. We touched on this a little bit, but they had a crazy game, tale of two halves and everything. But Coach White, he's somebody that you've known for how long?
Oh, probably since 14, 15, somewhere around in there.
Okay.
He's been here 16. He's probably, him and his brother, Clint,
mm-hmm.
and Clint's wife was a coach, and Clay's wife was
and
a
they were just
principal.
on the staff at the old high school as recently as 2 or 3 years ago, and then 2 years ago, I think, with with Clay and Clint and everything. Rudy Maskew also has a Texas Tech connection. I think he was on Spike Bax's staff. He's on that staff out there as well. So their quarterback will be, again, I feel like a broken record, but you're going to see another pretty good quarterback here.
No, he's an awesome athlete.
Yeah. So, well, it should be fun. Good luck. And let's see if I've got anything on the back sheet here to ask you.
Here we go.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to have you...
For the record, I was never in a boy band.
I didn't say you were. I said that you dreamed of being in one.
Nope, there were no dreams of that either.
If you were going to be a football coach.
You did me wrong on that one.
Who on the coaching staff keeps the mood light? Who is somebody on your staff that kind of keeps the mood fairly light when it gets intense? Is there anybody that's kind of the staff comedian, or the staff kind of keeps everybody in a
I'm probably going to have to go Coach Dubry, I imagine.
Okay, Hunter. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He's coach of the secondaries and
Yes.
special teams, a track coach. How about who is more intense, Dwayne Tolliver or Josh Quinton?
I think you're going to have to go Coach Tolliver.
Yeah, I just know that if I get into some trouble, I want DT next to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
no
Coach
doubt.
Tolliver. Yeah.
Well, if you were anywhere around the press box the other night, you probably heard.
I wasn't, but I did have somebody that was.
Sure. We're gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, we won't get into all that. That's right. Okay. Yeah. So true, false here. You do the laundry for this team.
Oh, that's true.
Why?
I
don't-
help with the laundry.
No, you do it. I've sat there and watched you do it before, and I actually took some stuff out of the dryer at one point a couple weeks
Yeah,
ago.
so you even help. See?
I guess so. That dryer, it'll hot.
Yeah. It'll cook you.
You can beat Coach Wilburn on the golf course. True or false?
I think we go back and forth. I think there's
So you can. So that would be true, but maybe not 100%.
not 100% of the time.
Okay. And the most random dinner that you've ever sent me a picture of, which does it get crazier than watermelon and a granola bar?
Nope, that's about it.
Yeah.
That's a lot of my intake during the summer when it's hot.
Yeah. This guy, he sent me a picture. He's like, well, and just enjoy dinner. It's a granola bar on top of some watermelon. And that was it.
That's been my go-to for a long time.
Yeah.
Especially since I've tried to cut back on eating cookies and everything.
Yeah, there you go. Well, man, Coach, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Go Patriots. We will talk to everybody next week. Again, kickoff 7 o'clock from Idalou Stadium there in Idalou, Texas. The game can be heard on 93.1 Yes FM. For Colton Coons, for Chris Lovell, for the head coach of the Patriots, Joe Sexton, this has been another edition of Patriot Talk. We'll talk to you next time.